Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 321. It's a very satisfying episode number. 321. 3, 2, 1. Savor him, really, because it's only going to happen once. Of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly news, culture, and gaming podcast for words about games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander. I'm joined this week by TikTok sensation himself, Mr. Dav Moody.
I am not a sensation whatsoever.
You didn't think
but
I would.
It's Monday, everybody. You know what that means.
You knew I was going to reference it.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
You're on TikTok before me.
What? I was going to say it was by choice. They asked and I went, why not? It's for first day. Why the hell not?
Well, Amy's always sending me these TikToks, the TikTok things. So why not? I'll be in one.
Yeah, why not?
Phil sent me a TikTok earlier in the week. So like,
Was he in one?
no, go keep my shit. He's always been like, I don't need to use TikTok because like people just send me all the TikToks, and he's been very adamant about that. Because like, you know me, I send people TikToks all the time.
You do?
And he sent me a link to a TikTok, and I was like, "Has it got you too?
Phil.
Has it got you too, Phil?"
Phil.
It's fine.
Come on.
TikTok's fucking cool.
Come on.
You can't say anything. You're in one. You're not in the TikTok. You are the TikTok. I should have said on the TikTok. You are the TikTok, but it's fine. Everyone knows what I meant.
I'm the TikTok. So that
You
means
are
I'm
the
valued at $1 billion or something.
I've always valued you. You know what I've valued you at, Moody? Priceless.
Aww.
Never leave me again. Please.
I didn't leave you. I was off for one shift because I was knackered.
Oh no, I was referencing the many months. The many months.
Oh, when I was a PlayStation.
Of doubt,
That's
doubt
fair.
and uncertainty.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. That is fair. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. It's fine. It's fine. I made a lot of cool podcasting friends while you were gone. I had no choice.
Hi, I might need an extra person.
Help!
So you are now my best friend.
You streamed once 6 years ago. That makes you a content creator. Do you want to come on my podcast? I think I saw you tweet an opinion about video games once. Do you want to come on my podcast? You've heard of video games, right? Cool. Come on my podcast.
The bar just gets lower.
Just lower and lower and lower. You can speak English, right? Okay, cool. Do you want to come on my podcast? Nothing against anyone who can't speak English, but that would be a really interesting podcast if I just get someone on who was like German and only spoke German and only understood German, because I don't know any German. That'd be an interesting back and forth.
That would be a very interesting back and forth.
Yes, we're trying to understand each other by gestures and facial expressions and body language. I don't know how our audio listeners would quite enjoy that episode.
That would be interesting, no doubt indeed.
How are you? I didn't ask. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm not bad at all. I'm getting settled. Like you say, I've moved. I'm still not telling everyone where I've moved to.
Good.
That's not happening one bloody
Have you
day.
seen the shit we've said on the internet before? You don't want anyone knowing where you are. Trust me.
Yeah, I've moved. Long last, finally got sorted. It was the week before. It was busy as hell. I was knackered by the end of it. Both me and my partner were absolutely knackered. You don't realize just how much crap you have until you're bossing it up, and then you go, Where is this all coming from? We lived in one small room for 6 years. Where is this coming from?
It's
And
because
it just kept on coming.
as someone who is also lives in one small room, you just get more and more adept at compacting everything. Like you become a master of utilizing the space that you have available to you.
Yeah.
And really maximizing. Because, like, yeah, I live in one small room, but Jesus Christ, there's stuff everywhere.
Oh hell yeah, yeah! I've seen it. I've seen it from pictures.
It's
and everything.
like I could definitely get more space if I needed it.
I could definitely do this.
There's space on the wall over here.
I'm sure it'll work.
I could figure something out.
Yeah, we got the couch set up on the day, and we slept on the couch because we were too knackered to build the bed.
A moving day tradition.
Yeah, we were just like, get the pizzas in the oven, cook the pizzas, eat the pizzas. The TV was set, so we were all good. We got connected to our internet, so that was even more better. And we whacked on some random crap. I think it's off Disney. I think it was off what we were watching. I can't remember what we were watching. And we just basically crashed on our couch, and our brand new couch. So yeah, it's really canny. I'm loving my job. Like, I won't lie. The first 2 days, I was anxious as hell.
Sure.
Especially the Monday. I was like, 'cause I didn't sleep well the night before. You never do.
You never do.
Yeah. But no, throughout the week, I got a lot more relaxed and got a lot more chill and everything. And like, yeah, like, I've had like good chats with my boss, and he's realizing like we're practically the same in how we like to learn, basically. And
Okay.
It's pretty much on like, just I'm a person who learns through repetition. Just don't overload me with information. Just tell me what you need me to do.
Sure.
And I'll just crack on with it and everything. If I have any questions, I can ask it and everything. And it's basically what he's left me to do for most of the part. So, like, because even though I am doing QA, I'm doing it. It is completely different to what I was doing at PlayStation. So I am properly bug testing games. So compared to what I was doing at PlayStation,
Any good games? I'm just kidding. I already know all the games your company's making. Not because he said anything, but because I'm very good at my job.
Do you know? Okay.
I know the ones I'm excited for. I remember the day you told me you got the job, where you got the job. And I was doing the podcast notes, and I looked at the indie game of the week, and I went, oh.
That's funny.
Same company.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's still like a settling period and everything. But we've got stuff sorted in. Like we've registered our GP, so we've got that all sorted. I'm now in the process of obviously sorting all my license out again. That's changed with its new address and everything. And funnily enough, I never realised this whatsoever. This is how much I pay attention to my driver's license.
Okay.
My driver license has my wrong date of birth on.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds.
I don't know how long it's been like that.
That sounds like. Yeah, that sounds like pretty standard for the UK bureaucratic systems. But like boring. That's just boring adult stuff. We don't care about that. Moody, there's a lot of white space behind you.
White space. Yeah.
What are your plans for this white space?
So I'm going to be buying more displays. Like,
excellent.
Finally, I've been able to put my 2 Gohan ones up onto 2 of the epic scenes from Dragon Ball Z that I love of the character. Sure. The aim is I'm buying another one of those shelves behind me. Going to go on the other side, go on that
symmetrical.
side.
We like it.
Yeah. The couch is going to go there. Around there somewhere. TV is going to go here next to me.
I wish I had a couch in my room.
And yeah, basically, going to put some soundproofing in. Like, I'm going to get some proper soundproof panels. Like 3 behind the PC here, probably 2 there, and 2 there. But other than that, yeah. And just slowly fill it up with nerd stuff. Like, I've got my ships are still packed away. My Star Trek ships are still packed away. My ton of freaking Funko Pops are still packed away. It's a lot.
You can see things behind me now.
You'll be
like my Star Trek shifts. Still working on this side. Ignore the lighting on this side. It's still a work in progress. There is actually a display like there. Mm-hmm. You can't see it because it's dark.
Yeah, that's the one I got you for your birthday.
It is the one you got me for my birthday.
But no, I think this is going to change over the months. So.
Oh yeah.
That is the aim. It's just now prioritizing what we're going to get because obviously we've got other parts of the flat to sort out.
Okay, I get that, right? So. You know, you've got to prioritize and everything. But let me throw this one at you for prioritizing's sake. This view right here is seen on the internet multiple times a week. I'd say that's a high priority.
I'll buy a green screen and just stretch it all out.
I spent loads of money on all the stuff in the background, and then I bought a green screen and covered it all up.
Yeah. I've got stuff to do, but yeah, we'll see.
Awesome. I'm glad you settled in and everything. So that's nice to hear. I knew you weren't going to be on last week's podcast.
Yeah.
We talked about we stopped recording the weeks before, and obviously you were saying like I'm moving on Wednesday, and I remember I said to you like, you sure you don't just want next week off? No, I'll be fine. Okay, but in my head I was like, he's not gonna be fine. It's not gonna be fine. Like, I wouldn't be fine. So, just give me some time and just message me. If you wanna, if you do feel like you need to have some time off, and I messaged Tori, and it was just like, just in case, do you want to be on the podcast next week?
So I'm expecting Moody to completely screw me.
I think I'm gonna need somebody.
Yeah.
I never used the word screw. Like, I only disparage you on the podcast. I'm very nice about you in private.
Yeah, that's true. At least now, though, with the new room, you can see the badass alien that I got for Christmas.
You can.
Look at that. He's a beauty.
And
you
can see
beauty.
The Among Us jelly bean and the Fall Guys jelly bean. I was there when he bought the Fall Guys jelly bean, everybody.
Yeah. I think you were there.
I have one.
You were there when I bought
I have one too.
The Among Us as well.
Yes. Do we buy
You were
this?
there when I got the. You were there for the Among Us. You were there for the jelly bean. You were there for the Bulbasaur.
The giant Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just not feeling like I'm just not feeling Funko Pops at the minute. He says he's holding a giant Funko Pop Bulbasaur. I don't know. I'm just not feeling any Funko Pops right now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I have a ladybird.
You do. Oh, that's new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Buzzy. Buzzy.
But so I got Buzzy, and we'll name the ladybird on a stream at some point, like we did with Buzzy. I bought it in honor of the Queen. I didn't really. I'm just saying that because I bought it on the day that, like, she, because I just happened to be out and about. I was at a garden centre. I was buying plants. They had a display of like Jubilee stuff still.
Mm.
So it was all just like,
oh God,
celebrate the monarchy. And I was just standing there like, is this awkward? I can't really tell. But then that same garden centre sells bath bombs. And they had like this big wall display of bath bombs underneath a sign that just in giant letters, all it said was bomb. just huge letters. Bomb. And I was like, I'm not even going to tell anyone. I'm not even going to mention it. It's fine.
There's no point. There's no point
Bomb.
whatsoever. Yeah, but no. Can't do anything about it.
That was Amy's trip to the garden center. I bought a cactus. Tiny little cactus. It's got a red thing on top of it. It's not called a cactus, it's called something else, but it's in the cacti family. Carrying it home was interesting. Kept falling over in the bag, and then kept having to like put my hand in and stand it up. Very carefully.
You're like, don't you prick me?
Because I bought a big purple plant as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's on a windowsill. It's good. I'm not going to kill this one. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Should we start the show? Oh, and if you're Erica or Phil and you heard me say that thing about killing a plant, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You misheard. It's fine. This isn't a plant podcast. I wonder if there are plant podcasts.
There will be.
I'm looking that up tonight. I'm going to come at you next week with my top 5 favorite plant podcasts. But this isn't a plant podcast. This is the Words About Games podcast, where every Monday you can get a video version of the show. He's looking it up right now on youtube.com/wordsaboutgamesuk, or an audio version on a variety of platforms, including Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more. There are timestamps in the description wherever you choose to get your podcast, so you can see what we've been talking about. Skip around or watch the entire podcast backwards if you like. We don't mind. We are just happy that you are here. If you'd like to support the show or our content directly, you can buy us a coffee over at coffee.com/wordsaboutgames. And lastly, if you want to hang out while we play some games, you can head over to twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames, where TikTok sensation himself, David Mooney, has been playing The Last of Us Part 1.
Oh, yeah.
With the accessibility options on, which is cool. High contrast mode? Was it high contrast mode? That's what you were using?
No, I can't remember. I can't remember what they called them, but it's what I used on The Last of Us Part 2 as well. So
it's the thing that makes Joel blue.
Yeah.
So naturally, I just dropped right into Twitch chat. Yeah. I was like, Joel's looking a little blue. And then I left because I was at work. So I just went, haha, my work here is done.
I'm out of here, suckers.
I did it. I did my joke. It looked cool. We'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will.
But for right now, Moody,
Let's do it.
It's TGS this week.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently, I didn't even know it until it was nearly finished. I was like, why is everybody doing directs and stuff? What the fuck's going on? And then I was like, oh, it's TGS. That explains everything. Never mind. Ignore me. Apparently, I run a podcast about video games, and I didn't know about one. I just didn't know about one of the biggest of gaming events of the calendar as it was happening.
Tokyo Game Show just comes out of nowhere. We completely forget about it. But it is like you said, it's one of the biggest gaming conventions out there, gaming things out there. Well, it just comes out of nowhere because we completely forget about it, and then boom, TGS.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason why is because it's September, right? We've had E3, with its various ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, and then we've done that,
and Jeff Keighley,
and then we get the maybe it's like a couple of little things in between, like sort of after that, and then we get Gamescom, and that kills our enthusiasm for video games for at least a month because we have to watch Jeff Keighley put on a show, and then that's why it's a surprise. Like under normal circumstances, I'd be getting ready for EGX, but I'm not going because it's really far away.
Next week, is it?
It's this week.
Yeah,
like it's this Thursday. It's really far away, though. I'm
amazed they didn't cancel it for what's happened. So,
what happened?
They cancelled everything else.
Oh, that. It's not on Monday, right? It's not today. Should we have cancelled the podcast? I mean, it's fine. I don't.
Could have took a day off.
I don't care about that stuff. But you're right. I could have taken a week off. I could be in my pajamas right now.
Yeah.
Eating
I
ice
could
cream.
have still been streaming The Last of Us by it right now.
Yeah, maybe we made a mistake.
We made a mistake. All right, bye guys. See you later.
What would be really fucked up is if we did do that, but I still put this out.
Everyone's looking. Why is it only 10
Why
minutes
is it
long?
a 20-minute episode? What the fuck? We forgot in the title. It's just we forgot to cancel the podcast in honor of the Queen. Depending on how spicy I'm feeling when I upload this, might be the actual title. But and I can be spicy. Don't do it. Don't tell me not to do it, Moody, because it's just going to make me want to do it more.
Okay, do it.
Thank you. That's all the permission I needed. Let's talk about TGS. So
go for it. Why the hell not?
I split everything up into the different directs because it just made. I was putting games on a bullet point thing, and it was all getting mixed together, and my brain started hurting. So I split it up into like the different things. The Nintendo Direct goes at the top because it's first.
Yeah,
and also The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Just gonna state this right now. This is the joke that I got from my work. I know what we now know why Nintendo said, yeah, the UK you're not getting it live, guys. Just for that title alone. Tears of the Kingdom. Yep.
I was discussing that, the live streaming kerfuffle with people where I was just like, did Nintendo not understand how the internet works? Like, it's not like we all in the United Kingdom log on to the UK internet and get the TV channels. Like we all just watched the Nintendo of America live stream. Even when they're not live streaming the Nintendo, I still watch the Nintendo of America one because it's just the one that I go, like, everybody goes to, right? But Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda. Joe Bedforce will be happy because now no one's going to call it Breath of the Wild 2 because he was always upset because it's never been Breath of the Wild 2. And that always made him mad. So he'll be happy. But that was a trailer.
Yeah, it was.
Pictures moved on the screen.
Gave you gameplay.
Gave you some gameplay.
Things, yeah.
It certainly looks like a Legend of Zelda game.
Definitely looks like Breath of the Wild. There's no doubt about it.
But not.
But no, I never played Breath of the Wild, so I can't make any comment or anything if it's good or anything like that. I know the amazing Joe Medforce put out a cracking video where he talks about how much he loved that game and everything, and like did a retrospective for it. And I think he did an amazing job for that. And there's no doubt about it, for people who love Zelda, I think, who loved like Breath of the Wild, the big old open world of it. I think people obviously, it's going to be incredibly excited, and this is going to be one of the biggest games next year in 2023. Like, it's disgusting what could be happening next year.
I'm not falling for that again. I fell for that last year.
We did. We did. But no, it's like, it
looks
excited for this. Well done.
Yeah, it looks cool. And everybody was very excited. I, of course, being the contrarian that the internet thinks that I am.
You put it on yourself.
I just like different. Okay, like, God, jeez, everybody just needs to chill. Okay, I just like things, and sometimes there's things on.
It could be worse.
AAA games.
You could be worse, Amy, because at the end of the day, you could have been Stephanie Sterling, where they just gave it a 7 out of 10, and it lowered the score on Metacritic so low that it was no longer the best, highest rated game ever, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If I remember, yes.
It became one of the highest rated game instead of the highest rated. Funny story about that. When we did, because Breath of the Wild came out in 2017, when multiple people did reviews for Words About Games, and I did the Breath of the Wild review. I did it late because I didn't get a Switch until this summer. And It's back when
Better late than never.
it's back when we did review scores. And I also gave it a 7 out of 10.
Amy Duncan.
I did. It's true. There were things about the game that put me off, but I still like. It's a very good game, and I love that people I love that people love it so much. I'm interested to try this new one and see if that jives with me a bit more.
I don't know if I am. Like I like when the last Zelda I played was the Link's Awakening, and I loved that. I adored. I thought that remake, remaster, whatever it was, it was really, really good. And I liked the quirkiness of its animation, so that's why it sucked me in. I have a problem with the animation for a lot of the Breath of the Wild sequels and the franchise they've made. I just haven't really clicked with it for me personally. But obviously visuals aren't everything and effort for it. But when I hear everyone says it's absolutely breathtaking, pun that was not intended there.
I was going to say, you sure they're not just doing a pun?
I don't see it personally when it comes to its visuals. But yeah, there's no doubt about Zelda is one of the biggest franchises in the world. And like Breath of the Wild made Zelda a phenomenon. Like Zelda was already a big franchise, but like Breath of the Wild was a phenomenon for it. It's basically like what Animal Crossing was a couple of years ago. And this one I think is going to even make it rise it to the stratosphere even more. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Breath of the Wild came out, we did the podcast with Keith, and Nintendo sold more copies of Breath of the Wild on Switch at launch than they sold Nintendo Switches.
Yeah.
That's how big a deal Breath of the Wild was. People were buying it before they got their Switches because there was a Switch shortage and it was hard to get it for a little while. Nothing like it is in 2022. Like, if you thought that was bad, let me sell you my PS5. £2,000, please. But yeah, no, like, I mean, Majora's Mask, like Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, is like one of my favorite games ever. It's definitely my favorite Zelda game. Breath of the Wild was an awesome game that I don't know if it just hit at the wrong time for me. Because it was 2017, I was playing it in the summer. I just played Horizon and Persona and like a bunch of games where I was like, this year is unbelievable. And then like there was so much hype for me because it was a few months after it came out. And I don't know if it just got the Undertale thing where it's like I didn't get to Undertale until a bunch of people were talking about how it was like the greatest thing ever. And then I played it and I was like, it's really good, but it doesn't live up to this picture that has been built for me. So maybe I should go back to Breath of the Wild at some point. Have another look at it.
Maybe. Like, we're going to hit a lull period soon. Like the beginning of, I was going to say the beginning of next year, but then Nintendo decided, January and February, bring it on, guys.
We sure aren't.
Yeah. Speaking of those games.
Speaking of the devastation that Nintendo is wrought on us, Fire Emblem's coming out in January.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Engage.
Travelers 2 in February.
What the fuck?
That is nuts. That really is crazy. Nintendo are like, we've had a quiet 2 years. Basically, they have really.
Yeah, all right. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I think that the last true big thing that was a phenomenon for them was Animal Crossing. I think that's fair to say. Yes, there's Pokemon. Pokemon always sells incredibly well, but they don't own that franchise or anything. They just have the exclusivity rights to it and everything. But when it comes to like now they're coming in with their big hitters. They're bringing in a new Fire Emblem. I know you loved the last one a lot. Bringing in Octopath Traveler 2. The last one was apparently one of the best JRPG games that came out that year. And then you throw in Legend of Zelda. It's like, oh my giddy aunt. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's right.
And that's only till May.
Bin that PlayStation, burn that Xbox. You're not going to need them anymore. All you need is a Nintendo. Because that's all you're going to have time to play on. Because those are both JRPGs. They're going to be huge. they've staggered them so that by the time, just as you finish Fire Emblem Engage, Octopath Traveler 2 comes out.
So Octopath Traveler will get you to Mir, will it?
Maybe. I still love that name, Octopath Traveler. I think it's so weird. I love it. These look cool. Like Fire Emblem Engage. This is the Fire Emblem that was rumored a little while back. That was Jeffy Grub was saying it was coming out in like September, October. Jokes on you, Jeff. It's coming out in January. This is why we don't do rumors, which I feel like is an important thing to say. Today of all days, we don't do leaks either.
Oh, bless them. We're not talking about it or anything like that, but I just want to say I feel for those devs.
I do too. It's horrible.
Even though we knew that we all know the game's coming and everything, but they should decide when they want to reveal it.
And how. I think how is an important part here. But so this is like it's like a Fire Emblem game where it's going to be like a Fire Emblem experience, but you can like summon past Fire Emblem characters, in like to come and help fight for you and stuff. So like it's like an anniversary celebration game.
So you're gonna call all the ones for the one you last played?
Yes.
At least she admits it. Yes, I am.
Yeah, of course I am.
They're all coming to save me.
Get in here, guys.
What? I can play with you again. Come on in.
Anyway, why does your Fire Emblem Engage footage just look just like 3 houses? Shut up. That's why.
Shut up, Moody.
Shut up, Moody. God, you don't even know what 3 houses looks like. You don't
That's
know.
True,
you don't know what a golden deer is.
You're right. I flipping don't. Is it something that only the royals can have?
No. So it looks really cool. I'm really excited. Octopath Traveler 2. There was the announcement trailer. Caught me completely by surprise. That was like a wait what moment, like where I was like, what? They've announced it, and then boom, a release date was a double wait what moment. And the fact that it was so soon. I didn't really play the first one that much because I didn't really get a chance to. It's on my pile of things to do.
That you'll never touch.
Pile of things to do. Let's just put a pin in that for a few months. But a lot of people listen to this podcast, and I keep doing things like that. Like just wiggling my eyebrows, like, ooh. And people who are listening are just like, why to go quiet? Is my thing stopped? But it's like
staring at each other.
Obviously, they're just staring at each other.
Intently.
We do that a lot too. Usually not with malice. But I'm excited to play this. Like Octopath Traveler to me is someone who didn't play much of the first one. Still holds like a special place in my heart as being like kind of the game that launched the 2D HD like art style and like that kind of that engine and that art style, which I've played a ton of games that did. I'm playing Live Alive, sort of. It's on the back burner at the moment, but I'm going to get back to it because I was really enjoying it. But I love that art style. So even though I've played like maybe like 3 hours of that game, I'm still like, but I love it for what it did, for what it like gave us. So I really need to play at least the sequel when it comes out.
Yeah, there's no doubt about like these like. Those first 3 titles that we're talking about, those are going to be massive for Nintendo next year. And they're starting the first 5 months of the year. Like, we're coming at you strong. We're going to start for a couple of jabs, and then we're just coming with a KO punch in May. Whatever we have left for the last 8 months. For the last 8 months?
Game of the year, motherfucker! Boom! And then Mario.
You won't.
Bam!
I think Mario's 2024. For me personally.
Who even knows anymore? They did the thing, right? They did that thing, though. I didn't put it in here because I don't get excited by title screens or T-shirts people are wearing.
Yeah.
Because they did the Metroid Prime 4 thing, right?
Yeah.
I did a podcast when they did that. And we did this thing. There was like 5 of us. And I said, let's all vote and we'll have awards. And one of them was like, best Nintendo reveal. And the second best Nintendo reveal was Metroid Prime 4. And I just shouted at everybody. I was like, why did you all vote for this? It was a title screen. And then they did it again.
For years.
Pikmin. they did a Pikmin reveal, and it was just it was a title screen and a t-shirt and a single screenshot, and I was just like,
Nintendo do that. They don't care.
But you know what wasn't a title screen and a single screenshot and a t-shirt? GoldenEye 007. What a surprise. No one saw this coming. Everybody saw this coming. That's the joke.
This is the GoldenEye, obviously 007 is one of the most iconic, one of the biggest iconic games from
Absolutely.
the 90s. There's no doubt about
100%.
that. This is going to play crap.
I was going to say, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
007 GoldenEye is one of my most played games of all time. I played the shit out of this game on N64 with friends.
So did I.
And I fucking loved it. A lot of people are going to play this and realize, ooh.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, dear. We've moved on.
Yeah.
Like, the nostalgia factor is going to be cool. Like, I'll download it because it's coming out on Game Pass. I'll download it and I'll have a go. And I'll be like, oh, I remember this. Like, I remember this level. Like, this was fun. I'll remember the fun. But, like, it's not objectively,
Yeah.
it's not a good game anymore.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm interested to see, like, obviously, like, the Switch is just getting a port and along with the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But Game Pass, Rare, add a change in it. Like, so they're making the gameplay better or something.
So on Switch, it's coming with online multiplayer.
Yeah.
On Xbox, on Game Pass, and if you own the Rare Replay collection, you're also going to get this for free. It's coming with like 4K, so like enhanced visuals, but no online multiplayer.
Those visuals don't look good now.
I mean,
so why would you want to res them to 4K?
They'll have done their thing, so it doesn't look like. I mean, if all they did was stretch the screen, yeah, sure, you would be able to tell what was going on. I'm sure they've done a thing, but it's not coming with online multiplayer. The Xbox version, and I had to look this up because I didn't believe it. The Xbox version is coming with local multiplayer only.
Yeah.
That's an interesting move. I'm gonna leave it at that.
You know, I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't care either. I won't lie. Let them do what they want to do at the end of the day. Whoever, like GoldenEye, at the end of the day, people have been crying out for this to come back in some sort of way. I'm not lie. I think it would have just been better if you just did a full remake of it. Might have been something, but no, you don't want. They are not doing that at this moment in time.
Make new thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. Just for being announced that's coming back is massive.
Oh yeah, like people lost their shit and fair play and like it's awesome, you know. Like we all get excited by different things. And I love that.
Doubt. Yeah.
Because I got excited by the Tales of Symphonia remaster, so I can't say anything about people being excited for remasters because I was like, wait, what? Really? This is coming back? It's an amazing game. Like I put it on the same level as classic Final Fantasies.
Ooh.
For how good it is. It was on GameCube. It was hard to get because it was in that era where JRPGs were hard to get in this country.
Yeah.
My parents of all people managed to get a copy of it for me. I don't know how they did it, but they did it and I owned it on GameCube and it's amazing. Like it's Tales of Symphonia was so recognizable to me that because okay, if you happen to be my boss at my day job, stop listening for the next couple of minutes. So I had the Nintendo Direct on while I was working. So it was kind of like a background thing. And I think like one line of dialogue got spoken from Tales of Symphonia. And I went, is that Tales of Symphonia? Picked the phone up and I was like, that is Tales of Symphonia.
What the hell's Tales of Symphonia doing here?
It's coming back. Although, like, if you haven't played it, you should play the shit out of it when the remaster comes out. You can already play it. It's already available on PC. It runs at 30 frames a second on PC, and it runs at 30 frames a second on the Switch. But on the GameCube, it ran at 60 frames a second, which means the GameCube is one of the most powerful consoles of all time. It's more
So
powerful.
Nintendo have gone backwards since
It's
then.
more powerful than the Switch. It's more powerful than that PC you've got sitting next to you, wherever you've put it.
Don't bring my PC into
That's
it.
just the objective truth.
Don't bring my PC into it.
I've done what gamers do, and I've used frame rate to win an argument. That's pro gamer moves right there. I'm in a weird mood today.
You really are. You really, really are.
I enjoy it.
Funny. Yeah.
Maybe Bayonetta 3 is coming out next month.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Can't wait for it to get me 90 points.
90 points.
Is that possible?
No.
20.
30 would be if it got 100. So
22 points.
if you got 140 average on OpenCritic, that would get you 90 points. Which I think is possible. I think if we can break the OpenCritic algorithm open, I think we can get that game 40 points above the theoretical maximum.
Well, it does break itself half the time, so let's just be frank here.
It does, it's true. I'm excited. Like Bayonetta 2 back on the Wii U. I was one of the 7 people to ever own a Wii U. Like, and it was my game of the year back when it came out, 2014, I think.
I think it's a lot of people's game of the year when it came out last
year. Yeah. Like it's phenomenal game series. It's a lot of fun. As a character action game.
Yeah, it's a game I probably won't touch because it's just nothing. It doesn't appeal to me or anything like that. But to go on off what I'm hearing, people like who have played it, they're like, they're saying you're not ready for it, and I'm just like, that's great to hear for the people who love being there. That's fantastic. That's great for me in Fantasy Critic. I need to catch up here.
It lulls, right? It's like if a game series goes dormant for a while. Like, I can sit here and say, Bayonetta, let's not open that can of worms, Moody. We can start talking about Dino Crisis. When a game series lulls for a little while, like, even me sitting here talking about Bayonetta 2 being my favorite game of 2014, it's like, that's a distant memory, right? That was like a million years ago. And so that was like 500 games ago. So when, like, you never, I don't think you're ever prepared for a series like that to come back, right? No matter how much you might remember loving the previous iteration, when it's been like 8 years since the previous one. So that's cool. And it looks cool, and I'm really excited to play it. And it looks like it's definitely coming in October, which is good. Harvestella. I put this on here, not because I'm particularly excited for Harvestella. Like, I don't think it's going to be something that I play. But I thought it was cool. Like, people were downloading the demo, and like, you can be non-binary in the game. And I was like, that's awesome, because you can barely be non-binary in anything, even real life, because that's how much life sucks. But you can do it in this game.
Yeah, didn't they have like hundreds of, I'm being facetious with the number, but farm simulators on this?
So they had 4, right? Now,
okay.
They had like 4 farm simulators, right? People complained about the farm simulators, and I'm like, right, here we go. I'm standing up for this. I'm going to get real close to the camera, because I want to talk to the people who complained about how many farm simulators there were, and I want to say, listen, motherfuckers, I had to sit through Jeff Keighley's summer nightmare of horror games. You can sit through a few fucking farm simulators, okay? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
You've been told, people.
I dropped the mic, but it's attached to an arm. I'm just sick of it, man. Like, there are people out there who's so, like, reason for, like, wanting to, like, make content about video games is just to complain about video games. And I'm annoyed, like, don't drag my shit into this, right? Farm simulators are cool. If I have to sit through fucking 15 fucking goddamn minutes of Call of Duty, you can sit through a few farm simulator trailers. It's fine.
And 5 Dead Spaces.
And 5 Dead Space games.
It really was.
I'd also just like to point out, there were the same amount of JRPGs as there were farm simulators in this direct, so go suck a fucking egg. Now I got that out of my system.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion is coming on December 13th.
I was thinking when is this coming? They said this year, and I was thinking they're gonna go December. They're gonna go as late as
They said this winter, so I was always in my head like December. I was in my head thinking it was going to get delayed. It's Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's tradition at this point. But they said December. That's awesome. Yeah. It's coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
It's a prequel to a game that doesn't exist on Xbox, but it's coming to Xbox nonetheless.
So do you think that's a sign that the remakes are going to come eventually to Xbox?
I think Jim Ryan is holding Final Fantasy VII Remake at gunpoint while screaming at Phil Spencer, "Give up the Call of Duty, or the remake gets it." That's what I think. But what I seriously think is...
the value compared to Call of Duty and Final Fantasy is like...
What I seriously think is... Final Fantasy is one of the biggest franchises in gaming. But what I seriously think is, like, no, Square... If there's any company that would release the prequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake on a platform, or two platforms, that don't have Final Fantasy VII Remake on it, it's Square Enix. I can totally see them never releasing Remake on Xbox, but you can play the prequel, guys. Looks cool though. I'm looking forward to trying to find time to play it. That's where I'm at now. I've stopped looking at video games that are coming out going, I can't wait to play this. And it's like, I'm looking forward to not trying to play it, but probably failing.
Well, you know that if you need to chop stuff off, you've already done it once.
Don't tempt me with chopping stuff off, Moody.
Cut the fat.
I'd love to chop some... So there was a state of play. That happened. 10 games. I didn't count them, but I did watch it. It's the first state of play I've watched for ages, and I chose a good one, I think, to like re-enter the state of play world, because there's some good stuff. Do you want to talk about your thing first? Because it was the big...
Do your things first.
Your thing was the big thing. The thing that you added to the list. It was the big thing of the state of play.
Well, obviously, like... Because obviously this was only meant to, what they were saying, it's pretty much Asian studios again, wasn't it? And third parties.
I don't know if they ever said that, but once I realized it was TGS, I realized what I was going to be watching would be mostly.
So we got a God of War Ragnarok trailer, a brand new story trailer, and I'm not going to lie, that trailer is fucking awesome.
I'm going to refill.
It is.
That's not a comment on God of War. Nobody. I really like God of War. I'm also really thirsty. Bye.
God of War Ragnarok, like, we've all been hyped for it, like, in everything, and it's like God of War, the last one was absolutely an incredible game, and Ragnarok is looking like it's going to be just an incredible game as well. But what I love so much about this trailer was, like, I've seen it on multiple times. I've always, like, sometimes things just don't tickle my fancy, or I'm just like, the trailer was alright and everything like that. It's because I always say the mantra of, I need a trailer to have put its hand down my pants and have a good rummage. And this freaking trailer put its hand down my pants and it flipping had a good rummage. And I can't say nothing wrong about a trailer giving me a good rummage. So it was all good. And Ragnarok did that. He's like, what the fuck have I come back to? The God of War Ragnarok trailer was fucking hype, and I can't wait to play this game. It looks incredible, and that end was just like, oh, mom, baby. Daddy's a fighting daddy. Daddy's gonna fight daddy.
Dad's like, fighting again.
I'm so hyped for it.
I mean, I'm excited for God of War Ragnarok. You know that. We've talked about it a lot. Like, I'm at a point where I'm like, the trailer looks cool, but I'm like, I just want the game now. I've seen enough. However, I will say the line, death can have me, when it's earned me was just fucking
badass.
My God,
yeah.
that was a good line.
It really has, yeah. And like, just to think about it, like, God of War 2018
Yes, correct.
was incredible. It rejuvenated the franchise and made it into something that no one thought, I think, was going to be able to do.
They made Kratos a character, not just a muscle man who rips things apart. Good.
Yeah. And and it was just and it was incredible. There's no doubt about like I still remember I don't know if it was a tweet or his review of from Mr. Badbit of what his love for this game. I think it's like he helped him connect or understand his father even more, and it was just like, that's incredible to hear. When I read that or watched it, I can't remember what Badbit.
When I interacted with this,
yeah, but like Ragnarok, I'm just like, flipping heck. Like, this game doesn't even... If this game is just half as good as 2018, that's incredible. That's amazing. But I really just have this feeling, it's like, they're going all in more than ever here, and they're just like they're saying, you haven't seen anything yet. And I'm just like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to us?
Well, the thing
you
is...
already broke our hearts in the last game. And now you want to break our hearts even more because we all know you're going to kill Kratos. We all know this. That's just
It really feels like it.
It really fucking feels like it. It does. Yeah.
No, so like, the thing is, the Thor fighting Kratos, right? That's the thing we all knew was happening. That was the teaser at the end of God of War. So from like 2018, like we've all known that Thor and Kratos gonna have a big fight. So when they say you ain't seen nothing yet, I'm like, yeah, I believe it, because this fight is probably like the fight at the beginning of God of War. It's gonna happen in like the first half an hour, like.
And then
like,
it's gonna culminate at the end when
and
he's
then
like, oh my giddy aunt.
He's gonna fight. I don't know who outranks Thor.
It's his
Iron
dad,
Man, right?
Odin.
He's gonna fight Iron Man. That's
Odin's son, his father.
I'm sorry, I just had to. Yeah, that's so fair. Like Odin's probably gonna come down. But here's the thing: who says this is just gonna be limited to Norse mythology? You get all sorts of fucking gods coming in. I mean, probably not Greek ones after the original trilogy, but other ones. There are other pantheons.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this. I think the game.
I think they've seen God of War 2018, like they made it right, and then they've seen what's hit with people, all the things that have hit with people. So now they can focus in on the stuff that really, really worked in God of War, and like turn that up in the sequel
to 11.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Like I can't wait for the like I'll finish work, I'll get it installed, and I'll be like, I'm not waiting until Saturday to stream this fucker. I'm streaming on Friday.
That's a good call. That's a good call. What I'll probably do is I'll probably trip and fall down the stairs on like Friday afternoon. So when I know the posters come with the game, and then I can have some time off with my foot up. Play God of War.
Bit of stream, but okay.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. Like okay. for the things that I love, I will do that. I will break my ankle. It's fine. But yeah, I'm excited. Like doing it, my lack of necessary general enthusiasm for this trailer to say that I'm really excited. I'm super excited. This is like probably the game I'm most excited for the rest of the year. Easily. Unless Hollow Knight's coming. Because then that would be... I'm wearing a Hollow Knight t-shirt. For God's sake. There are a few other things that came out at the State of Play that I really like the look of. Like a Dragon Ishin was interesting. I think I got swept up in everybody else's excitement for this, because like This is the Yakuza Samurai game that never came out in the West, but it was out in Japan. And a lot of people are very excited that this game is coming out in the West. And it looks cool. And you know me, Moody, I do like that series. But I got swept up in everybody else's like mega hype for this. So I'm looking forward to it. And then I forgot what Rise of the Ronin is, but Pacific Drive looks very spooky. That was another game that was shown at the. I saw someone describe it as Knight Rider in hell, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" That's a fantastic way to describe a game. I don't think the car talks to you. That'd be fun if it was literally Knight Rider, but it was a horror game. But it looks cool. It's like a horror survival. It's like a survival horror game, but you're driving around a car. That sounds interesting. It's different. I like different. The art style looks pretty good. And the other game that really stood out to me was Rise of the Ronin, which looks like the next logical step for the studio that makes the Neo games. Because it's basically open world. So it's like if you think of Neo as their Dark Souls inspired games, this is their Elden Ring inspired game.
Yeah.
It's set in sometime in Japanese history. I know they have guns. That was a thing that happened in Japanese. That was a Tom Cruise film about it. But
great film.
It was a pretty good film. But yeah, it's like a samurai Soulslike from Team Ninja. And Team Ninja make good Soulslike. Neo and Neo 2, excellent games. So I'm definitely looking forward to these. It's usually about that time where we do Indie Game of the Week, but we're not doing Indie Game of the Week this week because it's Tokyo Game Show and we're talking about a lot of cool indie games already. It feels weird to single one of them out.
That's right.
So we got the Tokyo Game Show. I put all this stuff into one headline because it was like, this is just all the stuff that happened. That wasn't necessarily like big, but it was, Like a Dragon 8's coming. It's the Yakuza series. Because Yakuza's always been called Like a Dragon in Japan, so now they're just unifying that brand across the world. So it's just going to be called Like a Dragon. Now.
Cool.
It's like they named the last one Yakuza Like a Dragon. So it's almost like they've slowly, like they've prepared us for it. They've shifted it.
Yeah.
Subtly. Apparently it's going to star both Ichiban and Kiryu, the protagonist from the previous Yakuza games. So
Ichiban was a cracking character.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was so good, right? It's fully keeping the JRPG elements that they introduced in the last game.
Yeah.
So like Kiryu, it's not like Kiryu is going to be the brawler guy. His gameplay is also going to be in JRPG style. So I'm fascinated to see why they're bringing him back and putting him in a game with Ichiban. Just from a story perspective, because I feel like we said goodbye. We left him behind. Ichiban came along. He was amazing. Pulled a baseball bat out of the ground. Talked about Dragon Quest a lot. It was good stuff.
In franchises in general, if you've got two protagonists, they'll always want to try and cross them over somehow. So this may be a passing of the torch to Ichiban.
Passing of the baseball bat? No, he's already got a baseball bat. What if he gives him like a red? No. That joke. I don't think I could make that joke work, but it looks cool. Like, I'm in, right? Like, you got me with this. Like, I couldn't get into Yakuza because there was 7 games by the time I got to the series.
Yeah, you loved Like a Dragon.
So Like a Dragon was like, hey, you got me. Actually, Judgment was the one that got me, and then Yakuza Like a Dragon came out, and I was like, yeah, you've really got me now. I'm into the main series, too. Speaking of Judgment, and Lost Judgment, both of those games came out on PC. Now, one, they're both awesome games. Go play them. Like, buy them, play them. They're fantastic. 2, does this mean... Because there was a dispute with the talent agency that represents the actor who's the likeness of the main character. We talked about this a while ago on the podcast about the games being released on PC, and RGG saying, well, if we can't release the games on PC, we probably won't continue the series because it doesn't make sense financially, I guess. The games are out on PC now, so hopefully this means that impasse has been passed, and we can get another Judgment game.
Hopefully, yeah.
Bless you.
Excuse me. yeah. That's the only reason you can think of why the games have finally now come out on PC. They've obviously sorted out that little issue, little issue. It's not little. It wasn't a little issue. That issue,
Sure.
And hopefully that it has been sorted, that we can get onto a sequel to Lost Judgment, because like Lost Judgment was one of my favorite games last year. I absolutely adored it. And like it seemed like with Like a Dragon I loved as well. So like I can't wait to hopefully see what next they got in store for us. So
yeah, like I really want to continue the story. Like Lost Judgment and Judgment, they've both been like games I've really, really loved. And I love the fact that I shared it with people, and people really got into it. On Twitch, that made it even better. A third one would be awesome, definitely. Hopefully, we'll get to see one of those sometime soon. My microphone's coming loose on this arm. I'm worried it's gonna fall off mid podcast. Okay, we got some stuff. I can just run through this stuff really quickly. Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters. Konami have finally announced something that I actually give a shit about. Suikoden 2 is an old PS2 JRPG. Up there, again, I said this before with Tales of Symphonia, it's up there with those games. Like, Suikoden 2 is a fantastic RPG. And when the remasters hit, I'll probably be talking about them quite a bit. Loved that game. Back on PS1. Did I say PS2?
Yes, you did.
I didn't mean that. It was PS1. It's because it's Suikoden 2. So the numbers got jumbled up in my head. I never played the first one, so I can't talk about that one. But 2, fantastic. Long Fallen Dynasty was present, and there's a demo. And I put this in the document because my intention was to play the demo before we did this podcast, but unfortunately that didn't happen. I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to shout it out anyway because it looks really cool.
Shout it out. Go for it.
Shoulders of Giants. This is a game that there was a Twitch. I did Xbox on Twitch kind of thing. Shoulders of Giants is a co-op roguelike. Sci-fi roguelike where there's like a giant mech, and then on top there's a little frog. And you can play the game single player where you can switch between the mech and the frog, and the mech has a gun. The frog has a gun, and it does ranged attacks, and the mech is melee combat attacks. And I thought that's pretty cool, just on its own. But it also has best friend mode, and what best friend mode is like you can invite someone to play, and then one person plays as the mech, while the other person plays as the little frog.
Nice.
And I was like, that sounds really fun. And what it reminded me of is that bit in Avengers where Groot picks Rocket up. And they do the thing where he's sitting on him. And I was like, that's what it reminds me of. That seems like it could be a fun game. If only I had a best friend who played video games with me. Run, Moody, run. The next two is Nino. You did. You got as far away, but you're still here. You could run to the ends of the earth, and I will find you and podcast with you. Deathloop is coming out on Xbox. What is it? Tuesday, the 20th. Yeah. And apparently it's got new content. It's got an extended ending. There's more new content in it, which sounds really cool. And Ni no Kuni also got released into Game Pass.
Ni no Kuni is I loved Ni no Kuni. The first one was absolutely incredible. Deathloop, we knew it was coming. It was coming to Game Pass. We all knew it was coming to Xbox. So yeah, finally, if you haven't played this, if you
Great
haven't
game.
played any, yeah, go and give it a try. Same goes for like the Judgments. If you haven't played them yet, give them a go. Like the Dragons, give them a go. Go for it.
Yeah, we're talking about these things because they're all really good and we really like them. And like that comes with our recommendation, I guess. You should play all these games and then play all the other ones we talk about.
Yeah.
We talk about a lot of things, but that's fine. You just got to manage your time well. It's dead easy. We do it, and look at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
It hasn't affected us in the slightest. I didn't just stand up put my face right in the camera and shout at people on the internet. That didn't just happen. Didn't. Right. There was one last direct thing. They called it a direct. The Game Devs of Color Direct, GDRC. Get your wish list and fingers ready, podcast listeners, because I'm about to hit you with some indie game goodness, but I'm going to do it really quickly. So I made a list of all the games that jumped out at me. Vemba, which you might have remember us talking about from the Tribeca Games Festival back at E3. It's a narrative cooking simulator. Looks really cool. Validate, struggling singles in your area. It's a dating game. Again, looks very funny. 9 Years of Shadow, which is a Castlevania game. I'm testing the limits of my memory by doing this. 9 Years of Shadow, it looks like it's like a Castlevania type game. Looks really fun. Key Locker, turn-based cyberpunk action. I don't think I need to explain that. Kind Folks, and that's spelled kind, Folx. Then we've got a couple of visual novels, Love Show and High Elo Girls. They both look very fun and very interesting. And really nice art styles too. Taste of the Past is another cooking game. It's a Japanese-inspired one, though, like an Asian cuisine-inspired one. Eastern Asian, that's the word I was looking for. After School Afterlife looks like a fun platforming game. RP7, I don't even know how to describe this. I thought when I was watching the trailer, I was having a fever dream. And I'm still not sure what it is. It's like a dungeon crawler on like... No, I don't know how to describe it. RP7, just go and look it up on Steam. And if you can tell me how to describe this succinctly, please do. But it looks cool. Pico. Which I don't remember. Hold on. I've got Steam open for this reason. It's fine. Oh yeah, this is like it's a cozy. It's like you making a tea party, but everybody's cats. I feel like I don't need to sell that anymore. That I already did. Lonesome Village, which has been on my wish list for about a year. There's a free demo, which I've always been meaning to try. It's a puzzle-solving adventure. But again, everyone is animals. Very cute cartoon animals. And you wander around solving puzzles and talking to them. And it looks very, very cool. And lastly is Who Is He? Let Me Out, which is, you might guess from the title, a horror game.
Couldn't think of it.
No, you play as like a 10-year-old kid, and you try and find your mother, and it's like you're in an ancient Japanese village. And there's a spider, and I remember like in the trailer, like I think the spider's like your buddy, or it's like you switch between the kid and the spider when you're playing. Like couldn't quite figure it out from the trailer, but like there's definitely like a spider involved as like a character of some kind. So I hope you've wishlisted all of those games because they all look fantastic. There were more games at Game Devs of Color. If you search Steam for Gradient Convergence, they're all on that one page. Of course, if you're listening to this podcast 5 years from now, that page probably isn't there anymore. But search it anyway. You never know. Maybe there's another GDLC.
Interesting.
That's it, Mooney. It's TGS. We did it. Mooney's wish list in the games. I can see you copying them in the dock. It's cool. I love it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's why every game I click on my Steam wish list to see if it's got a release date. One friend wants this game, and it's always you. And I'm like, yes. Yes.
My job here is done.
I've got it. I've got him. These all look like cool games. GDOC is such a cool idea that it's hard not to just be happy that it exists. And these games all look really good. I wish they'd give us a release date for November, but they didn't. It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to desperately struggling, waiting for release dates. It's fine. That was TGS. I mean, it wasn't all of TGS. There was a lot more, but that's the bit that I enjoyed. Well, I enjoyed the rest of it as well. That's the bit that I want to talk about.
You've really broken your mic, haven't you? Or your mic.
I haven't broken anything. It just needs tightening. It's just I can't do it right now because that would require unplugging it.
No, we don't want to do that.
Because that's how wires work.
That's true.
So it's fine. As long as I don't move it, I think it'll be all right. Unfortunately, I move it around a lot. It's like a ADHD thing, I guess. Because I move myself around a lot. I move my microphone around a lot too. Cool. So like I said, there's no indie game of the week this week because we just did. I just gave you 12 games to wishlist? More? I don't know. I didn't count them. Go wishlist those. They're all fantastic. Support independent developers. Should we talk about the opposite of independent developers now, Moody?
Go for it.
Let's do some news. It's Xbox time, baby. Phil Spencer says Xbox will continue M&A activity to remain competitive. This is from Jeffrey Rousseau over at GamesIndustry.biz, who writes, in a new interview, CEO of Microsoft Gaming Phil Spencer confirmed that Xbox is still open to more mergers and acquisitions. This came after news that the firm's $68.7 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard is expected to be investigated by both UK and EU regulators. In speaking with CNBC, the executive explained that acquisitions within the games industry are quite active and Xbox will continue M&A activity to remain competitive as well. Spencer explained, quote, when you look at the investments that we've made, it's a highly, highly competitive market. We strive to be a major player here, end quote. He further expanded that as future partnerships develop with creators and publishers, that may lead to more acquisitions. Quote, so the work never ends for us, end quote. Additionally, CNBC asked the CEO if there will be plans to increase the price of the Xbox Series X and S models. In response, Spencer said, quote, I can definitely say we have no plans today to raise the price of our consoles, end quote. He explained that during a time of economic uncertainty, it would not be the right move to raise the price of the hardware. Yep. It's not wrong. That'd be a real shitty thing to do right now when everybody is experiencing serious economic hardship.
Who was it? Who was it? I think it was I who literally said when PlayStation have come out and said they were going to raise theirs, Nintendo and Microsoft won't be far behind. They'll stay back, especially when they came out and said they're keeping their options open or something like that. Wasn't it some bullshit like that? And Phil Spencer basically saying, yeah, we're probably going to be raising our prices soon. So
no, it was the what was it? Never say never, which you could never say never. It's like no one can predict the future except me. I can predict the future.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like never say never. It's the boilerplate thing that you say to these questions. But yeah, I mean, right now, no, they're not going to raise their prices. So cool, awesome.
And then they're coming out and saying like he's still open for more mergers and acquisitions. Yeah, Phil. Now we're going to get into territory of that. You're going to be, what was it we talked about last time? Being
I don't remember yesterday. So,
So-
last
so-
week is
He's going to be, what was it, crushing the market or something?
crushing them all. I don't know. Maybe I can jog my memory.
He'll have so much market share. We've talked about this.
It doesn't ring
Come
a
on,
bell.
Amy.
Are you sure you didn't talk about this at work?
No.
We didn't talk about it last week because I've just clicked
No,
on the video.
I didn't say we were last week. I said last time.
We weren't here last week.
I'm pretty sure we talked about Phil Spencer, and it was like when we were talking about Activision Blizzard, and we were like, they're gonna like. I can understand why regulators are like worried because they could saturate the market or something.
I don't know. I don't know. But make the point again.
Well, you're not helpful. You're not helpful. For him wanting to buy more mergers and acquisitions, like that's not a good thing. That's like
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and like he's gonna take over the market because of it, and that's not what we want.
I mean, unless he buys Tencent, he's not gonna or Embracer. Sorry, not Tencent. No one's gonna take over the market. But like, yeah, mergers and acquisitions are bad. Like, I feel like I've been saying this since forever. But like, that's what it does. It crushes competition, not necessarily in the way that people think. In the way that, like, if you only have 6 companies making all of the video games, like, there's not really going to be a huge amount of competition. Like, I get why this has been forwarded to, like, the investigations, and I'm all for it. Like, but literally, like, I just wish they'd stop fighting in public. Like, it's really cringe, and I'm sick of it. Like, Jim Ryan said this, and then Phil Spencer's having this sly little dig at PlayStation. Well, and in a time of economic uncertainty, you know, it would be wrong to raise our prices. And fuck you, Jim. And then Jim is just like, oh no, they're going to take Call of Duty away. And I'm just like, can you just? You're like toddlers on a playground arguing about a fucking who gets to go on the slide. Like, can we just not do this behind closed doors? But
them coming out spitting and spatting at each other, it's like that is pretty. It is not pretty.
It's annoying.
I've seen two
I hate it.
CEOs of big tech companies bitching and over this is like really childish. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. I forgot
But
what
no
my
offense, I'm
original
not gonna
point was.
lie.
That's why I pivoted into that.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. Are we surprised it's fucking Jim Ryan?
I mean,
I know
No.
what he's trying to say is like he has to protect his investors. He has to do and all of this and everything. I can appreciate that from a certain point of view.
I
But
mean-
it's fucking Jim Ryan. If this was the last one and the one before that, this wouldn't have got out with either of them whatsoever. But Jim Ryan's proven, like we were already weeded by the man before he became bloody CEO of PlayStation, and now he is CEO of PlayStation. We're just like, oh my giddy aunt, what's going to happen now?
right?
And he hasn't shut up saying stupid fucking things, and now he's fucking having a spitty fight with fucking Phil Spencer.
like, I get that he's like worried about the effect of Call of Duty potentially going exclusive to Xbox. Again, like Xbox had to come out, someone from Xbox, a spokesperson I think it was, had to come out this week to again reiterate that it would be a terrible business decision for them to make Call of Duty and take it away from PlayStation, which, yeah, that would be a really bad business decision because you would lose lots of money. And maybe that, like I said in the past, maybe that changes in the future. Maybe it doesn't. At the end of the day, though, what I found really funny about this past week was Jim Ryan doing his thing. You know, oh man, it would be like, you can't let them take Call of Duty away from us. Like, them taking such a big franchise and making it exclusive, that would be awful. And then, like, 2 days later, there was a PlayStation blog post talking about, hey, buy Call of Duty. What's the new one called? Modern Warfare 2. Buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on PlayStation. You'll get an exclusive game mode and exclusive skins only on PlayStation. And I was just like, this can't be real life. How is this
there's no
real
doubt
life?
about it. Like, the hypocrisy is absolutely insane. but it's also like not apples and oranges.
Oh yeah, it's not like
because
comparable
like Call of
situation.
Duty is fucking Call of Duty. It's a difference. It's like it's a massive difference compared to like Final Fantasy remakes not being on Xbox right now or anything like that. Like it's nowhere near compared to what Call of Duty game removed, taken off PlayStation, because at the end of the day,
Okay.
PlayStation has the market when it comes to like the numbers and everything. It's really it's crazy. It's like CEOs, just shut the fuck up and just go into your boardrooms and do your little chitty chats there. We don't want to talk. We do not want to be talking about you, Jim Ryan or Phil Spencer. We don't want to be talking about either years whatsoever. We want to be talking about freaking video games that are coming to your freaking consoles.
Whichever consoles they may be. Look,
Yeah.
Phil, just put your blazer back on and come out and talk to us in that soothing voice on a stage. And Jim, just go and throw a fucking birthday party for your cat or whatever, right?
Yeah, just shut up.
And just leave us alone. Just stop buying video. What if everybody just stopped buying video game studios? Here's a thought, Phil and Jim, and hell, Doug of Nintendo of America. Don't think you're getting out of this. All that money that you have, that you're using to buy Bungie and Activision and everybody else. What if you take that money and invest it in new game studios? Expand your portfolio organically, create more jobs for more people in an industry that is very cutthroat.
Do you think...
For the people who are trying to find jobs and constantly getting laid off?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just have this kind of feeling. It's just come to my head now. It just came to my brain that. Do you think that feels like, obviously, let's just state this for a fact here. Don't listen to either of them right now. Whatever they're putting out right now is probably all bullshit lies. Just to try and say stuff.
Yeah. So Jim is trying to get this acquisition stopped, and Phil is trying to get this acquisition put through. I love the fact that we're on first name basis with both of them somehow.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It's fantastic, yes. But maybe it's Phil's giant plan of that. Okay, you want Call of Duties. Okay, what can we get from you? And it's not about like getting PlayStation exclusive or anything like that. Phil Spencer's ultimate plan is to obviously close the exclusivity part. Maybe this is the way Game Pass gets on PlayStation.
I feel like Jim Ryan's attitude towards Game Pass on PlayStation would literally be over my dead body. Yeah, like probably, I don't think Jim Ryan would ever go for Game Pass on PlayStation under any circumstances. Like, unfortunately, we live in a reality where exclusives are a thing. I wish we didn't.
Yeah.
Like, again, I wish like that just wasn't a thing, but unfortunately, it is, and that goes from people buying studios and making their games exclusive to their platforms, all the way down to signing exclusive deals with second and third party partners. Like, it all sucks. It sucks that people who are on Xbox had to wait an entire year to play Deathloop because that's a really good game, and I wish they'd gotten to play with it. I wish people on Xbox could play Final Fantasy VII Remake because it's amazing. Like, I get why PlayStation Studios games don't go on any other consoles and Xbox Game Studios games don't go on any other consoles for the most part, but like, the third party ones just bum me out every single time. Like, just sucks. It all sucks. It's terrible. I hate it. Let people play games.
It's one of those things at the end of the day.
Hashtag free the games. Let's do it. Let's start a movement. Last of Us on Switch.
Oh my god, I'll break it.
You could do it over the cloud. I'm sure it'd be fine. That's what they're doing with the Resident Evil games, right?
Are they?
Yeah, it was in the direct. I didn't bring it up because I wasn't that bothered. Great if you've never played them or you want to play them on your Switch, but I was just like, yeah, whatever. Hey, whatever. I'm going to listen to these two CEOs argue with each other. That's how I'm going to spend my Thursday. That's the voice I make when people are annoying me, I guess. let's continue. How Long to Beat has been integrated into the Xbox app on PC. This is from Livngan. I think that's pronounced right. Over at Eurogamer. He writes, a new update for the Xbox app on PC has added official integration of website How Long to Beat. If you haven't used it before, How Long to Beat is a community-run website where people can log how long it took them to beat a certain game. The times are then averaged to provide a rough estimate of the game's expected length. It's by no means sound scientifically, but it's a nifty way of ballparking how much time you might need to finish a game's story before you commit to playing or buying it. Microsoft has also recognized the usefulness of How Long to Beat and has partnered with the site to display its statistics on the Xbox app on PC. And then the rest of the article is how it works. I'm not a tutorial. I'm a news podcast. But it's on there. I just got the update done on the Xbox app on my PC. So it's a thing now. Like if you look up most games on your Xbox app on PC, you click on them, it'll give you a rough estimated time of how long to beat them. And I don't know how I feel about this. Like, even as someone who, like, I use How Long to Beat a lot. Because I think my time, like, not necessarily to, like, do the thing where I'm like, oh, I need to get bang for my buck. Just, I need to know how long a game is going to, like, how much do I need to invest in a video game before I sit down to actually, like, play it, right?
Yeah.
So I do use the site a lot. But, like, it being, like, tied into an official thing on the Xbox app, I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't think it's really that big of a deal at the end of the day. Like every time like I'm playing a game, especially like a small indie game that I'm interested in playing and everything, but with just the time for me and everything, I'll type in like gameplay. I keep forgetting about this site How Long to Beat and everything like that. So I'm always like typing in YouTube game walkthroughs and to see how long it took someone to finish that game. So when I see it's like, oh, that's pretty decent. That how long it's so then I'm like, okay, it influences my decision of if I'm going to play this now or if I'm going to put it back until I have like more time and everything. And it's just how it is. Like right, like I've got fucking Elden Ring to give a try. I'm probably not going to give that a try this year. It sucks, but I'm probably not just because. I'm looking at it on How Long to Beat right now. 52 fucking hours for the main story. Fuck off. That's all I'll say that. And it's disappointing. But it's just how it is right now. And for me, it's like it gives other people like it may not work for you, and that's fine. And
No.
You may not feel like if it's a good thing or a bad thing or anything. But for people like me and everything, I think it's like that's great.
How Long to Beat is a central pillar of words. If How Long to Beat didn't exist, words about games might fall apart. Like, this is how I plan out my time.
Hasn't it already fallen apart?
No, it hasn't fallen apart. This is how I plan my time. Like, when I'm talking about making videos about games. Like, specifically, like, it's incredibly useful to be able to look up a stat to say, okay, so, like, roughly how long is this going to take me? Like, so, because, you know, that's a central component of planning things is knowing how long they take. Like, and like sometimes, yeah, you're right. Like if I'm sort of like scratching around like for a game, I'll figure out like, well, what can I invest? And I'll go on How Long to Beat and I'll look it up and it's fine. I like used responsibly. How Long to Beat and just game lengths in general are really good. But we're just removed from Steph Sterling putting out that awesome video in response to that infamous Steam review, which, you know, gave Cult of the Lamb a thumbs down because it's only 17 hours long. And it's like, there are people who use game length as a metric of quality. Like, if it's not long enough, whatever, like, arbitrary amount of hours that they've decided is long enough, it's not a good game. And, like, Xbox are now putting that information directly on the app. And that's the part where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this because there are people who aren't going to use that information necessarily responsibly. You know what I mean? Fair. I don't know if I worded that particularly well, but...
No. I understand where you're coming from.
Like, I mean, I like everybody has different values in terms of what they're looking for out of video games. Like you just said, you're looking for games that aren't necessarily 50 hours long, which is
That's
totally
true.
fair. I get that. But like, I don't think like game length can ever be a sign of quality. Like, it could be a sign of, hey, I don't have time for this right now, and that's fine, and I get that. But like, there will be the capital G gamers, we'll call them. I just lump them all together in one group and forget about them these days. But yeah, they just, oh, the game's not long enough, therefore it sucks. Like equating like dollars per hour as like a reasonable metric of quality, which is, that blows my mind.
It's understandable, that. I won't lie.
Be an interesting pricing structure for video games, though. You only pay for what you play.
Like this one here, the new game that's come out, Metal Hellsinger. Apparently, that's 4 hours for its main story.
Yeah, of course it is.
Main plus extra 5 hours. Complete is 6 hours. That's sex to me. That's amazing.
You say that, but I mean,
I never think about the price though.
I might be stepping on my own toes here because we're going to talk about Metal Hellsinger shortly. But like, Metal Hellsinger is a game designed, the levels designed to be replayed. Like, overall, that's how the game is designed. Like, so how long to beat Metal Hellsinger? It's like, well, I mean, how do you even answer that question? Because like, you play through it once and have a good time, and that's awesome if you do that. But it's like Neon White. It's like you replay it to get better scores and get like higher on leaderboards and get higher like things. You know what I mean? So like, even sometimes like figuring out like how you judge a game's length can be difficult. Like, how long to beat Immortality? Well, Immortality is a game that you can get to the credits of in 30 minutes. But did you beat the game? No. Like, you haven't uncovered the story. Like I said in my review when we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, it's like I played the game for like 7 more hours after I rolled the credits. And like, how do you judge how long that game is going to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ow. And like, the officiality of it all being on the app is just something where I'm like, this might not go well. But hey, what do I know? I know nothing. That's what I always like try and remind people. I just say words and hope for the best. Moody, would you like to skip to the next thing and go straight to Amy's
Rant?
It's not a rant. I just put it in as a rant because I thought it was funny. I want to talk about Steelrising's assist options because for fucking years I've been out here on this podcast, out on the internet, talking about how fucking Dark Souls wouldn't be ruined without an easy mode. And you know what? People have like pushed back against that. I don't know why. I think that's dumb. But Steelrising came out, and I talked about it with Tori last week because I started playing it. And I'm going to finish talking about it this week because I finished playing it. So I guess you're going to get my final thoughts. But there was one thing I specifically wanted to talk about the game this week, and it's its assist options. So it actually has customizable difficulty. It's a Soulslike. So it's a game that's like Dark Souls. It's going to be quite challenging. Although the video clip I showed Moody midweek is like, doesn't have to be challenging. But when you start the game and at any point during the game, you can toggle, there's 4 assists. Now, if you'll excuse me, the website I've went on to remember what the assists are is throwing 5 pop-ups in my face. I've got to try and close those down. So you turn assist mode on, you can enable it, and then what you can do is you can move a slider to reduce the amount of damage that you take. That's one of them. Another assist mode option is you can turn off the feature. You know when you die in a Souls, like, you drop all of your experience points. You have to go and get them. You can turn that off. So when you die, you still got all your experience. You can regenerate your stamina. You can toggle how fast your stamina bar regenerates, because stamina management in Souls-like is usually pretty critical. And then the next one's going to require a little bit of explaining. So stamina management in Steelrising is a core component of the core gameplay. And one of the things that you can do is when you run out of stamina, you have a window for cooling, like, because you're a robot. So it's perfect cooling, it's called. So if you push the triangle button at the right moment, you can do a perfect cool, which refills your stamina bar instantly. So like if you get good at that, you can continue to attack or dodge or whatever. And you can toggle an assist, because it's like a window. So like if you hit it at the right time, it fills it up completely. If you hit it at the wrong time, it might fill it like half full or like a quarter full. And you can toggle an assist. That means when you push the button, it's a perfect cool every time, and it just refills your stamina bar instantly. Like there's drawbacks to doing that, because you take damage when you do it. It's like a risk reward thing, but it would make the game easier if you could just push the button whenever and boom, you've got full stamina bar.
Yeah.
And do you know what, Moody? Two things really sprung out at me about these assist mode things. Number one, they don't ruin the game in any way.
Really? Who would have thought that?
Wildly enough, that was me dropping the mic. Wildly
Your
enough,
mic didn't like it. Didn't like it there.
no,
The
that was
mic
like
didn't like
boom. It doesn't ruin the game. Like, you know, like you could pick up Steelrising if you so chose to, and maybe go, you know what? I don't want to lose all my anima souls after I die, so I'm just going to turn that off. And then, oh no, I've died, but I've got 20,000 anima. I'm going to level up.
Oh, yeah?
But you know what else struck me, Moody? Like, these assist mode options existed in the game, and I didn't want to play. I like Souls-like the way they are, and I didn't want to play with these assist modes options. So do you know what I did? I never used them, and they didn't impact my enjoyment of the game in the slightest.
Wait, what?
I know, right?
Oh my god.
I just didn't turn them on.
This is new information, Amy.
because as we all know, factually, if options like this existed in Dark Souls or a Souls-like game, it would ruin the creator's artistic vision.
It just ruins games in general, Amy.
And you know what? I thought, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I just played a game with these things in, and I feel like the artistic vision of Spiders, the developer that made this game, it was still intact. My whole worldview was shattered.
I'm shocked at this new revelation. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
I feel like I need to rethink my entire career as a games commentator. I can't wrap my head around how the world works anymore. Like, there are options in the game that I don't have to use, and I didn't use them and still had a great time. What? Fuck that. No. Steelrising's assist options should just be a standard in Souls-like games. They should just be in all of them. Because it's not about making the game easier. It's about giving Moody the same challenge that I have. Because I know you have struggle with certain things, especially to do with games that revolve around reflexes and dodging attacks. So
yeah. So hand-eye coordination.
Hand-eye coordination, that's the word I was looking for. So you being able to mitigate that in an assist mode or in options or in sliders, and me not having to use those provides equity. You can experience Steelrising the way that I experience Steelrising.
Oh yeah.
Which is what we're going for.
Yep.
Moody's not looking to face roll the game. He's just looking to have the same if me and Moody both pick up Elden Ring, right? And I hope you don't mind me speaking for you here for a second. It's going to be harder for you to play that game than it is for me. as it currently stands.
Fuck yeah.
Because I have better hand-eye coordination. Like, when we talk about this stuff, we're not talking about, oh, I just want to push some buttons and everything die immediately. I mean, don't get me wrong, that would be fun for my second playthrough. But we're just talking about trying to have the same experience and have the same level of challenge. This didn't really have a point beyond just I really wanted to be very sarcastic about Souls Bros. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to call them. I've decided. Also, Steph Sterling liked the game as well, so they agree with me. So I'm therefore correct. Sorry, I cut you off. You were going to say something.
No, it's all right. No, like we've said on many occasions, accessibility is an incredible tool that needs to be implemented in every single game out there. Like, I'll bring on to we'll go into what we've been playing.
Let's dive into what we've been playing.
Yeah. I've been playing The Last of Us Part 1. I've been streaming it. I've been playing it with accessibility options for near sight. I've used options for people who have bad eyesight and everything, and that's just because it helps me find stuff and everything like that. But it's not ruining the situation for me. It's not hurting me or anything like that. And I'm enjoying it just as much. And I love the game and everything like that. I'm just and if you when it comes to the price and everything like that, I'm not going to touch that. It's up to you what you decide what value when it comes to a game. For me, I have no problem with paying this for £70. I have no problem with it because I adore this game. I adore this game.
I feel like I spoke my piece on that quite enough last week. Everybody just needs to take a chill pill. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, it is it's just you decide what you think is valuable and everything like that. And if you think it's too much at this moment in time, then wait. There's no doubt about that. Or heck, if you want to, you can get the remaster version or the old PlayStation 3 version.
I have it. I have that.
Pretty cheap right now and everything. But no, yeah, I'm absolutely adoring this. And this is Amy, I don't know why, if I completely forgot just how fucking good this game is.
It's the thing I was talking about when we were talking about Bayonetta. When you get distance from it, you're not. You remember, shit, I really love this, but the intensity of that feeling kind of goes away after time. So when you pick up The Last of Us Part 1 again, all that feeling comes back, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, I remember how much I love this.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I'm excited to continue what I'm playing, and obviously I know what's gonna happen in part 1. I know what's gonna happen in everything, and there's already parts at the beginning, and I'm just I said on the part when I was streaming it, it still fucking hits. It still hits. You know what's about to happen. You know everything's about to happen and everything, but it still fucking hits. It's visually stunning. This ain't just not any normal visual upgrade or anything like that. This is basically what I would have wanted for the Mass Effect remastered trilogy last year. I would have wanted that for the Mass Effect trilogy. If we got that type of implementation onto those games, it would have been oh my giddy art, that's amazing. And that people wouldn't have batted the fucking eye on those trilogies because they would have said, wow, it may be just a visual upgrade, but look at those visuals type of thing. And it's just
look at dead ass, because that's the Mass Effect fan base. Very horny all the time. Very horny. That's not I'm not calling anyone out. I mean, there's a Normandy, there's a Sarah Ryder. It's me.
Garrus and Shepard are somewhere. That's them there.
What I'm saying is I am the horny Mass Effect fan.
Yeah. So am I. Just like Life is Strange, True Colors last year, Mass Effect Remastered trilogy was one of the reasons that I think I realized I was pansexual. So
that's awesome.
It is. Yeah, I thought about it and I was thinking, yeah, there's a reason. I think there's not just a reason why I'm always I'm going to bang Garrus.
I'm going to bang Garrus. I'm going to have sex with that man.
And I'm going to be okay with it. But no, yeah, it's but that's what it is. And then you throw in the accessibility options that they've thrown into this game. just for that alone, just tells me I'll have bought this for £100, Amy. Just for that alone, of how great what they've implemented into this game. They basically took what they had on Last of Us Part 2 and literally added that in.
Well, that's fantastic.
And it's absolutely incredible. And they've even added a couple of more options because yes, they haven't really changed the gameplay or whatnot or anything like that. They have stated that, but they've added in like parts of like auto lock. I'm thinking, yes, that actually makes it a lot more easier. Well, not more, a lot more easier, less annoying because the gunplay hasn't evolved better, did not age greatly compared to what it has for number 2. Number 2, I think it's a lot more fluid and a lot more.
You tend to find that with when you're sort of looking at a gap of about say 6-7 years, like even though it doesn't feel like it in your memory, like gameplay does actually evolve over time.
Yeah, don't worry, GoldenEye fans. You're gonna get that.
You'll know. You'll know.
You're gonna fucking know. Yeah, but yeah, it's like the story's breathtaking. The connection with all the characters. You like just the opening, like I said already. The connection to Joel and the daughter was incredible, and that was just the first 10, 15 minutes of the game. I won't talk about anything like that, but no. And
I just can't. It
and
still
then you meet
hurts.
Ellie, and you meet Tess. Tess's new animation is incredible.
Oh, you mean how she looks like the age that she's supposed to be now?
yeah. She looks incredible. She looks absolutely breathtaking. And then and it's just gonna. I can't wait to get further into the game and everything. Ellie's just like the animations you see. To Joel, the animation just like. Fucking hell, it's beautiful. It's an amazing game. And then right now, I'll state this right now, it's my game of the year so far. I'm not going to lie. I think Ragnarok's going to crush it by the end of it. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see what
That's awesome.
I can't wait to play more because this is making me excited because I've literally, I said I was going to do this, but I was maybe titular to do it. I am probably going to go from straight to part 2. I'm probably going straight into that. And I'm going to be like, hell freaking yes.
Let's fucking go. And then you're going to remember the feelings of part 2 and you'll be like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
I'm on camera and everything.
Yeah. But I did say that I kind of wish I did stream it because the reactions I was given, well, my partner was just like, what the fuck has this game done to you? Like,
to be fair, though, you haven't played it for a couple of years. So, like, maybe you'll get there again and I'll have some incredible clips I can put in a Twitch video on YouTube because our playthrough of The Quarry was so much fun to go through and clip things out. It was so much fun to go through that entire playthrough, and I'm glad that we had that in video form. But I'm really glad that you've been enjoying The Last of Us Part 1. I didn't even think, like, when I logged onto the stream and I recognized the accessibility that you'd had turned on, and I didn't even think, oh shit, he's using that. That's awesome. What's great about that is, to reinforce my sarcastic rant from earlier, is that when I play the game, I won't use any of that. And neither of our experiences will be affected by what the other person is doing. I think I'm going to get around to it. I don't know if it'll be even this year. But definitely like when I replay The Last of Us Part 1 for a video, that is definitely going to happen at some point.
Well, you want to do one with you and Vitz, don't you?
It'll be, like whether I do a retrospective, whether me and Vitz sit down and make a video like where we discuss it, like I'll play part 1, like I'll play the remake. I won't play the remastered version, just because why the fuck, it's right there. Why wouldn't it? So it's on the list.
That's great because I knew
I love The Last of Us.
My knowledge was like, no, there's no doubt you've never stated you'd never have. I'm stating that, but you've also stated that I've played it. There's plenty of other games coming out right now, and I'm more excited for to go back to this and everything.
That's the thing. It's like right now, like I'm swimming in games that I'm really excited for. Like, and The Last of Us gets pushed down because, well, I've played it before. Like, I love that it exists. Like, I mean, I've gone on a my opinion about the remake has gone on a journey, right? It's just like, it's fair to say that culminated in an epic rant last week with Tori. That wasn't planned. that was not in the show notes. that whole section where we talked about The Last of Us did not. That came out organically. But like, yeah, I'm happy it exists. For the people that want it, or the people that need it with the new accessibility options. That alone makes the re-release worthwhile. And I think people just need to take a step back and reevaluate why they're getting mad about things. Because holy shit, like, it was probably seeing some of the reviews or like some of the gamer boys like talking about The Last of Us Part 1 when it came out that really solidified my opinion of being like, it doesn't matter. It exists, and if you don't like it, leave it. I'm playing games that aren't Last of Us Part 1 and having a great time. Speaking of which, I finished Steelrising, the game I accidentally got from Boomerang instead of Splatoon 3, and I'm kind of not mad I got it because I did kind of enjoy it. Quite a bit.
That's great.
Like, I talked about it a lot last week, so I'll just kind of like sum it up, I guess, because like I talked about like the main stuff. Like it holds like its quality consistently all the way through. It's a janky AA game, the kind that you don't really get that much anymore, but we used to get a lot of in like the 2010s. And I love it for that. Like, it's janky in certain ways where I'm just like, this is great. Like, there's like an animation thing. I'm reticent to call it a glitch, but like, if you don't approach a door or a chest dead on center, and you push the button to open it, like, your character, like in a third person game, the character orients themselves to be in the middle of the door before they push the door open, right? Like, you probably see that in The Last of Us. In Steelrising, if you're not dead on center, instead of just sidestepping to the middle of the door and pushing it open, the character gets confused and like spins around 360 in a circle and then orients himself to the door, and I think that's amazing. Some people will look at that and go, look at this animation. I look at that and go, this is brilliant. Give me more of it. But it was a very fun game. Like, it's a Soulslike with Metroidvania elements. You actually unlock new traversal abilities as you defeat some of the Titans, which are the main bosses. The Titans are really fun to fight and learn. And on top of the assist options that I just talked about further up this podcast, as Moody can confirm, you can skip most of this game with grenades. As it turns out, because I got real mad at one of the optional bosses and I just threw grenades at it. And you can buy the grenades with your experience points. You can buy a lot of grenades. I'm fairly confident that you can beat this entire game with grenades. Like, I reckon if I started a new game, which I don't have the game anymore, sent it back to Boomerang because I really do actually want Splatoon 3. Like, I could just, instead of leveling up, buy grenades and just throw grenades at bosses until they die. And still have enough grenades left over. It's cool. It, like, you don't, like, you pick from like different weapons. The weapons are really, really quite inventive. Like, you can get some bladed fans, and they turn into shields, like, because everything has like a secondary ability. And the secondary ability of the fans is they turn into shields. Like, one of the weapons is basically a big fucking clock on a string.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
And then there's like batons. It's cool. It's fun. I don't really have too much to add from what I said last week, though, other than to say that it just keeps it up to the end. The ending is a little abrupt, like, because it's the French Revolution, but with robots. And it focuses on the resolution of the French Revolution, whereas I wish it had focused more on the resolution of the character arc, the main character that you play as, because, like, it doesn't really do a lot with the politics of the era, which is disappointing, especially now. Like, I feel like a game that really dives deep into the politics of the French Revolution right now could be very useful to a lot of people to experience. considering we're already fucking experiencing it in real life. But it didn't do that. So they do like this weird, like, sort of almost supernatural like stuff instead, which was interesting, but then it just kind of ends. And like there needed to be like a coda or an epilogue for the main character, and you didn't really get it. Instead they were like, and now we're gonna chop the king's head off with a guillotine. Which is fine. And I'm not, there was today of all days is the one day I probably can't make the joke I was about to make. So we'll skip that. Today we'll leave that joke alone. But no, it's a fun game. Like, if you like Soulslikes and you're all right with a bit of jank, give this a look because it's really fun. That's it. That's all I got for Steelrising. Maybe you'll hear more about it in January. We'll see how the rest of the year shakes out. And then the other game I was playing was Metal Hellsinger. And I really can't talk about this too much because I played one level. But
we even put it in then.
Because I want to talk briefly about it. Because I played it. What have we been playing this week? I played Metal Hellsinger. And the level that I've played, and I'll talk more about it next week. See, this is the thing. Like, I don't want this bit of the podcast to be, here's our game reviews. I just want it to be like chill chat where it's like, what did we play this week? I played this. Obviously, there's a lot of things I can't talk about or won't talk about because I'm making big videos about them. But I'm not making a big video about this. I'm super into this game after just one level, though. Like, cool. I booted it up. I did the tutorial. I realized I'd done the calibration wrong. So I had to redo that because my timing was all off on the beats. And then I got into the first level and like it was like I'm playing it and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Like I'm enjoying this. And then the head started nodding to the beat. Because like it's a rhythm first person shooter, right? Like there's metal playing and you do all your attacks and whatnot to the beat. And my head started nodding. And then I'm getting further into the level and then I can feel like my legs going at the beat as well. I'm just, you know what? Skip to the end. By the time I was at the boss, I was fucking like moshing out. Partially because I was trying to keep to the times of the beat with buttons that I was pushing. Partially just because I was fucking vibing with the entire experience. I became one with the video game. I was worried for the health of my chair. By the time I got the end of this level, and I still got like 7 more levels to play.
Okay.
So you might just like get a video. You might just get a picture at some point this week, Moody, and I might have just accidentally trashed my room, like you know how like rock stars trash their hotel room. So I've just fucking lost. Yeah, metal, and then I look around and I'm like, oh, someone's gonna have to clean this up.
And that person's name is Amy.
That person is me. But yeah, it's on Game Pass. So like, if any of what I just said sounds fun, download it because it's good. I'll talk more about it next week, no doubt. Because I'm going to try and finish it. Apparently, it's only 4 hours long.
That's what Thingy said.
That's what HowLongToBeat says. Shall we do some games out next week? We got a lot of games out this week.
We have.
September 19th. We got 2 games. Return to Monkey Island is coming to Switch and PC. And There Is No Light is coming to PC. Then on September 20th, we got 3 games coming out. Solstice is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X and PC. And Wildflowers is coming to PC. And Jack Move is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch and PC. Then on September 21st, another 3 games coming out. Portion Permit is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. The Outbound Ghost is coming to PC, and Scrap Riders is coming to Switch and PC. Then on September 22nd, we've got 5 games coming out. The Deerfield Chronicle is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Beacon Pines is coming to Xbox, Switch, and PC and is launching in Game Pass. Spiderheck is coming to Xbox and PC and is launching in Game Pass. No Place for Bravery is coming to Switch and PC, and Serial Cleaners is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. And then lastly, we've got 1 game coming out on September 23rd, and it's Shovel Knight Dig coming to Switch and PC. There's
2 games out next week for me. That's good.
like fucking 6 games coming out that I want to play, but I want to highlight one for both of us. Spider-Hack is coming out on Xbox. It's coming out on Game Pass. We both have Game Pass. And it looks like it could be a fun multiplayer thing to stream.
What's it called again?
Spider-Hack. It's in the document.
Spider-Hack.
Yeah. I was looking at it because it was one of the ID at Xbox Twitch games that was on last week. And the trailer looked like it could be fun. It could be fun for us to fight. We fight each other as spiders and swing around and try and kill each other. And then if we want, we can do co-op and against waves of enemies.
Oh, great. A massive horde mode.
Or we just try and kill each other. I mean, we try and do that in PvE games anyway. So, but I thought that looked cool. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna play out of this mess of a fucking release window. Like, this week. Like, if I pick any of these games up, because I want to pick so many of them up, it's ridiculous. Yeah, Jack Move. That looks really interesting. Solstice. I've had my eye on that one for a while. That's that action game that keeps popping up at like all the PC like indie game showcases. Beacon Pines is in Game Pass, and that looks really fun. Return to Monkey Island is a game I'm happy exists for other people. I've never played a Monkey Island.
Are you gonna give this a try?
I don't know whether I want to play the other ones first or not.
I don't think you won't need to.
We'll see. Maybe that might be a Christmas thing. Like, I'll pick it up and blast through it at Christmas.
When I get paid, at the end of the month, I get paid. I'll just buy it on Steam.
Even better. I won't even need to pick it up. I'll just install it, and then it'll sit there, judging me for not playing it in my Steam library.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, why haven't you played me, Amy? Why haven't you played me, Amy? Remember the cool trailer we watched last time and you laughed at? Why haven't you played me, Amy?
I did laugh at that trailer. Was a good trailer. Wait, are you going to buy it or are you going to pre-order it?
What's the difference?
You get the horse armor if you pre-order it.
I don't give a fuck about the horse armor, so...
Well, I'm not playing it now.
I can't pre-order it.
Well, I'm not playing it now. I don't have the horse armor.
I'd have to pre-order it now, and I don't have the money to do that. So
you will. You will. It literally comes out tomorrow.
I'm annoyed there's no physical version of it because I was hoping to get it for Boomerang, but there's no.
That's what I thought as well. I was like, I'm pretty sure I could get this for my Switch on Boomerang, but no, can't. It's a shame. To be fair, though, I wouldn't have had the room for it anyway because I only just sent Steelrising back. So. I did send Saints Row back, actually. I didn't play any more of that. Like, my prediction was correct. It was like, I got my enjoyment out of it. And then I didn't touch it for 2 weeks, and I was like, it's going back.
I didn't think you were going to play any more of it. I think other games were going to capture... Other, no offense, better games that you were hoping would be capturing your attention. True.
Like, I was mad that I didn't get Splatoon because of Steelrising, but then I played Steelrising, and I was like, I'm not that mad anymore. But I'm looking forward to playing Splatoon 3. Like, there are people on my Twitter whose games opinions I respect greatly who are, like, really into Splatoon 3. So I'm like... When I say respect greatly, what I mean is align with mine. That's what I actually mean. I respect people's opinions even if they don't agree with me. Like, what I mean is, like, these people like the same games as me.
Digging yourself out a little hole there.
I realized I was digging. I dug down and then I was like, wait, hang on. It's a bit dark down here. Oh, shit. I need to get out. I only respect people if they agree with me. You can clip that out of context if you want. I can't stop you.
That's true, you can't.
It's time for OpenCritic Head-to-Head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic score of some upcoming games, and Moody usually guesses the same number and wins. Last week we tried to guess the score. We tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Metal Hellsinger. I guessed it would get a 90. Moody guessed it would get an 80. Tori guessed it would get an 86. And at the time of recording, shocking no one, Metal Hellsinger has an OpenCritic average of 80. Started up there and just kept going down. And then I logged on to OpenCritic last night and I was like, it's an 80. I fucking hate everything. So, like, can I ask a serious question, though, Moody? This is very serious. How much are you bribing game journalists to make all the reviews be 80?
Is that why they've all been sacked?
Is that why you can't afford Monkey Island?
Well, I can neither confirm or deny.
It's not EA paying for review scores. It's fucking him.
That's right, Jane. I need an 8 from you. GameSpot, I need a 7 from you.
All right, I've worked it out because I'm a math genius, which Amy didn't know about until we played Escape Academy together.
Oh, bless you.
I didn't. I was like, not in a mean way. I was genuinely shocked when you just started busting the maths out. Like, not in a mean way where I was like, oh, you're so dumb. How could you know that? Just, I never knew that. It was one of those things I never knew about you, that you were good at maths. I just never knew it.
Maths. It just worked for me that night. I'm not the greatest at maths. I really am not.
Okay, fair enough.
But for some
I hate
reason,
maths.
I just thought of the numbers and they just went into place really fast.
Sure.
And it was like, how is this happening right now? And it was just working.
You
so
realize you could have gotten away with that, not saying that. And then I would have just been like, Brady's a maths genius.
Yeah, but then you would have told someone else and then they would have come to me asking for math advice and I would be like, here's a calculator.
I love the panic, just...
So I'll just get it out of the way now. Just say, God damn it, you're right.
Moody just accidentally becomes known for his mathematical skills for the rest of his life. So the scores are Amy 15, Moody 25, guests 3. Still no draws. I'm bamboozled by the fact that we've never had a draw all year.
Well, the odds are pretty high probably against it.
It depends. There were plenty of draw opportunities. It just depends what you pick, right?
And also you got to remember that we both deliberately made sure that we've avoided that chance and everything. So,
I mean, to be fair, like the last 5 weeks. I mean, yeah, sure. Before that, I probably was doing that, but for the last 5 weeks, I've just been doing whatever I find is funnier. Like the week where we did the thing where it was like, where we did Saints Row and that F1 Manager, and I was like, well, Moody keeps guessing 80 and he keeps guessing 2 points, so I'm going to guess 80 on 2 games that I know aren't going to get anywhere near 80.
And they didn't.
And of course they didn't.
It's funny enough, F1 Manager now is under 80.
Yeah, so I've seen it like sliding down.
It's buggy.
Like it's fine. Anyway, this week we put the scores into the doc already because it's Return to Monkey Island, but the game comes out on Monday, so we didn't know whether the reviews were going to come on Sunday. So we both put our numbers into the doc already. So
I think they'll drop at midnight.
It didn't,
America.
12 or 1 a.m. But they aren't out, so it's fine. But you guessed it would get an 80. I'm not even going to ask you to explain your stupid reasoning. I know your stupid fucking reasoning. So then I guessed it would get an 81.
We'll laugh if it lands right on 80.
79. If it lands on 79, I'm not going to have a desk for next week's podcast.
I'm not going to lie. As much as I'm hyped for this game, I have this feeling.
I don't think I'm getting another point for the rest of the year. My goal is to get one more point in Fantasy Craig. I haven't scored a point since Live Alive came out, Moody.
You You mean OpenCritic?
Yeah, I'm talking about OpenCritic. Fantasy Critic, I'm crushing it.
Yeah, but you said Fantasy Critic.
Well, look, right.
You're gonna get one more point next week when this.
No, but I mean this
comes out.
game, the game that we're talking about,
Yeah.
OpenCritic. I didn't. Whatever.
I'll be surprised. Okay, I'm kind of curious here. So let's have a look. See here. So we're in the end of September. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, we'll finish the week before Christmas.
I'm just gonna take your math as
12 weeks. I
gospel.
think 12, 13 weeks away from when we technically finish in December. So you got 12 games theoretically that you'll get a point in.
I mean, you say like, oh, there's 12 whole chances to get a point. I haven't scored a point in 8 weeks.
It's pretty funny to see. It's really funny to think that last year on OpenCritic we were pretty close throughout.
We were. It's true. It came down to the final week.
Yeah, and
there's 12 weeks left, and I'm 10 points behind. So you do the math on that.
Yeah, I only need like 5 more points really to mathematically.
I mean, yeah, mathematically, because I could theoretically get double points every week.
Yeah.
But I'm not you.
Hey, I did 3 weeks. I did.
By guessing the same number, and my problem
5 out of 6 weeks.
by guessing the same number every week. And my problem with that, Moody, is you get to pick first, so you just pick the number. I can't pick that number. I can't pick that number. Next year, I'm picking first because
Ladies first.
I have been crushed in OpenCritic this year. I'm definitely picking first next year, and every week I'm gonna pick A. Every fucking week. I'm going to put it in the dock and it's never going to change. And I'll probably score no points somehow.
No, I'm going to say this. But this is the thing. Like, the year before, 2 years ago, you won Fantasy Critic, I won OpenCritic. The last year,
I've noticed.
So we're gonna switch it next year.
We keep switching.
Yeah.
It's like you can only win one.
Yeah.
You can't win both.
You can't win them both. Yeah.
And like, the degree to which you're winning in one is the degree to which you're apparently losing in the other one.
Yeah, but my games are starting to come out now.
Yeah, that's true. But I've got a lot of games coming out, Moody.
Yeah.
I got Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. Russell tried to get in there and he tried to buy it. And I was like, no, that's mine. Thank you.
And I've still got 2 games that don't have release dates right now, which is I'm now getting worried.
I've got 1 space and I've got 1 drop for that day when Hollow Knight is finally confirmed to be coming out next year. That we're gonna have to do a That's Gonna Do It for this podcast because our microphone
is dying.
It's fine. I just need to tighten it onto the. I just need to screw it on really hard, you know.
Yeah, you keep whacking it away.
Like, it's because I move it around a lot. Like, it's my thing. It's my jam. I move it around. I've moved it around too much to demonstrating that, and now I'm holding on to it for no particular reason. Do you have anything you would like to close the podcast out with, Mooney?
Peace out, everybody. Have an awesome week next week, and stay safe.
See you next week. Mwah. Don't forget to hydrate.